Why is the sky red? What did I do? What did I do? I think... Whoo! What the hell?
What was that?
What are these? Obelisks? That's a triangle. They've made a triangle in it.
Whoa.
Oh, shit! Oh! Well...
Are you supposed to be out of the booth?
I'm getting back in the booth. Emilsson is upgrading her art? Huh? But her art's always been great. I mean, is like she getting like better technology, like a better tablet or better, I don't know, better program or I don't know. I've enjoyed reacting to Emilsson, and as a matter of fact, the last Emilsson video that we did, you know, the food, food one, it was
food opinion.
Yes,
Unforgivable food.
Yes, unforgivable food opinion. Thank you. That was that was a lot of fun, and also very eye-opening in seeing that Em's a weirdo, but that's why we love her. I mean, she's a weirdo, but that's kind of the point. She just enjoys what she enjoys, and she's living in Japan now, so she feel more than free to, you know, just live her life however the hell she wants. And honestly, I love the fact that she's expanding and upgrading her art and everything, and I'm really hoping that she continues to just be creative and just do her thing, because I love videos like this. And I know that Jaden is sort of in between on stuff, because Jaden is like really into gaming right now and is just really just doing her thing, but just like us rediscovering Emilsson after, well, our fans more rediscovering Emilsson, because there was a while y'all didn't request any Emilsson videos, and I was worried about that. I'm like, is she dead? Turns out no. Turns out she was just moving to Japan. That's why it was taking her so long to release videos in some regards. I can't wait to see what she's gonna do in terms of upgrading her art. So let's check it out and let's see what we got. Here we go.
One question that I get asked a lot is, "Hey Emily, what drawing program do you use / recommend?" And for the longest time, I'd respond with some version of, "I use insert art program here, but I've been meaning to switch over to Clip Studio Paint because I always hear such good things about it." And then I wouldn't commit to fully switching over because the idea of learning how to use a completely new art program was super daunting, and I am extremely technologically challenged, so I wasn't really sure where to begin. But I've now decided finally to fully commit. I'd always see artists post about whatever new feature was out, and I'd feel like I was sort of missing out. It also didn't help that most of my artist friends use Clip Studio, so whenever I needed help with a specific art problem or getting some specific effect, sometimes it'd be difficult because whatever tool or feature they were talking about was completely non-existent to both me and whatever program I was using at the time. The two features I was most interested in that I wasn't getting from my old program was the ability to download and use custom brushes, and tools that aided in making comics, and the ability to add text to my work. In an older video where I redrew some old comic panels about my character Plumeria, I actually had to open the drawings in Clip Studio Paint so I could add the speech bubbles and text, which were a huge help, and honestly should have been the moment I moved over to Clip Studio. But like I said, the idea of having to learn a whole new art program was really scary to me. The first video I made using entirely Clip Studio Paint was actually my comfy chat video with Lily. You can sort of tell I was messing around with the custom brushes and trying to get used to the program, hence why I didn't have the time to color any of it. And even now, a month or so later, I'm still a total newbie at the program, and there's a lot that I still have to learn. But Clip Studio Paint actually reached out and offered me both a sponsor and the opportunity to visit the Celsius office and have a Clip Studio developer demonstrate some of the new 2.0 features for me in person. Afterwards, I went ahead and...
That is awesome. I mean, it just goes to show you the level of respect that M has with like the animation and art community out there. The fact that they're just like, we will hire someone to like give you and show you the ropes on this, so you're not being thrown into the lion's den. I love that. That's super cool.
Drew a comic page myself and tried to utilize some of the tools from Clip Studio that I hadn't been able to before. So this video isn't necessarily a tutorial video since I'm still brand new and learning, and if anything, some of you watching are probably a lot more well-versed in this program than I am. So this will be more of me sharing what my initial thoughts are as someone who knew pretty much nothing about this application and its features. But first, let's go straight to the source and introduce you to the developer that will be kindly assisting me today.
こ
んにちは、エミリさん。セリシスのスタッフの直樹です。プロの漫画家もしています。今日は私も普段使っているクリップスタジオペイントの使い方を一緒に勉強しようと思います。どうぞよろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。Thank you so much for having me, Naoki-san. I have just recently switched over to Clip Studio Paint. I don't know all that much. Could you recommend me, I guess, the most beginner-friendly tool? For the very first tip Naoki-san demonstrated for me, he said that there were a variety of preset brushes I could use to decorate the background, but that I could also search for my own brush presets online by opening Clip Studio Assets. I suggested using flowers for the example illustration that he drew, so we looked up a floral brush preset and downloaded it to add to our palette. Ooh. From here, he made a circular pattern behind the drawing using the flower brush to give it a little extra oomph and make it pop more.
That is awesome, dude. Oh.
Naoki-san then showed me the usefulness of the bucket tool in Clip Studio. For example, rather than tapping multiple times with the bucket tool, you can tap once and drag your stylus into the areas you want to fill with color. For me personally, I really liked the fact that I could bucket color within the line art without having to be on the actual line art layer.
I wonder if those kind of tablets are still stupidly expensive, by the way.
The refer to other layers option. There's also the enclose and fill option, which allows you to define the exact area you'd like to fill in.
Wow.
Okay,
next,
that's
awesome. He showed me the new auto shading feature that recently came with Clip Studio 2.0, which is a function that creates automatic shadows. Using either the line art layer or color layer as a reference layer, you can create automated shadows using the shading assist, and you can change both the light source and the size of the light source.
Okay.
On top of that,
I really need that as someone who has not the first clue how to shade correctly.
My mom could give you some pointers, but yeah, that right there is awesome. Like having it to where the sun will be behind them, and then like increase or decrease the power of it to like show where the shadows are supposed. Damn.
The time of day and the color of the lights and shadows will differ accordingly. Another useful feature is the use of 3D models for posing. This is a great tool for if you're in need of pose references, especially if it involves any complicated angles that you might not be used to. You can find the 3D models in the material palette, and for this demonstration we went with the female model. You simply drag the model onto the canvas, and you can even move the camera angle around to view the model from different angles. If you want to make your own pose, you can move the individual parts of the model around, which is definitely something that may require some extra practice, but it's a lot of fun to play around with. Or if you'd rather select a pre-existing pose, simply drag it onto the canvas again and it'll change the model's pose immediately. If there's a specific pose not available to you in the material palette, you can look for and download poses that other people have made, just as we did with the custom brushes earlier.
Damn.
Aside from 3D model bodies, you can also customize and use 3D model heads. There's different preset head models, but for this demo we decided to go with the basic one at the very bottom. Just like with the 3D model bodies, you can move the camera angle around, which helps immensely with drawing any face angles that you might be weak at, like for example a side profile, or looking at the face from the bottom up. And even with the preset head models, you can customize the appearance of the heads by going to the wrench icon on the launcher bar, tapping on the head model, and customizing each individual part of the face, and you can even blend different facial features together. I asked Naoki-san what his current favorite feature was, and he mentioned he really liked how useful the liquefy tool was. I'm sure every artist knows the pain of having finished coloring a part of a drawing and then realizing that you want to alter the size of a specific part, but it's a huge pain to have to redo the line art and coloring. From my experience, I admit I sometimes would just leave it as is because I didn't want to deal with all that. But with Clip Studio's liquefy tool, you can distort both the line art and the color layers at the same time without having to merge them beforehand. He clicked on the character folder that included the line art layer, color layer, and a white mask layer, and then clicked on the liquefy tool and then liquefied the bun to his desired shape. You can use this tool on multiple selected layers at once, so you won't have to redo or redraw anything just because you realized too late that you made one eye a little bigger than the other.
Wow.
The last thing I asked Naoki-san about was how to use tools for manga drawing, since that was one of the main things that Clip Studio specialized in, and the thing that really drew me to the program to begin with. Instead of having to meticulously draw your own panels, there's a Create Frame tool in the taskbar that helps you create panels instantly. For example, if you use a rectangle frame, bam, you got a rectangle frame. No rulers or intense eyeballing required. You can also use the Cut Frame Border tool to divide panels in any way you'd like.
Oh.
In addition to panels, you also don't need to draw your own word balloons from scratch either. With the Ellipse Balloon tool, you can instantly create a classic oval balloon for a speech bubble, and you can add a tail, or even multiple to any balloon regardless of its shape.
Thank
you for taking the time to show me all these different features. I really appreciate it.
いや、こちらこそ本当にありがとうございます。こちらも勉強になりました。
Now that I had some new tips and tricks under my belt, I decided to try utilizing them at home and draw my own fully colored comic page using one of my original characters. I did a sketch first using the A4 comic page guidelines, and I tried out the panel creating options. I chose a pretty simple panel setup for this particular page. After I did my line art, I proceeded to the coloring stage, and the Refer Other Layers function of the bucket tool continues to be a godsend, and I can only imagine how much longer this would have taken me had it not been for that. Since the character in question was being summoned, like magically, I looked for a good smoky custom brush to use and ended up downloading a useful brush set off of Clip Studio assets, which I later used to swirl around the background of the character and then added some extra defining lines.
That is so
While
crazy.
I was browsing the app,
It's insane.
Like the time saving on that.
Oh
and
my
just the
God.
being able to actually draw things that I'm not good at drawing. That's why I need that.
sets, I came across
A lot of
curated-
artists might call this kind of thing cheating, but to be honest,
Who cares?
if I can
dude?
pull something out of my brain that never otherwise is going to get to a page, like, I'm willing to give you the middle finger on calling me a cheater about it.
Yeah. I don't care. Like, dude, it doesn't matter as long as what you're putting out there is what you want, and it's just it shouldn't matter like what people say. Like, oh, it's like that's not real. It's like, shut up. Like, it's like, bro, you're not real.
category of recommended materials
all a
specifically for
simulation
comics and
anyways.
manga, which
Yeah.
included things like background assets, pens, and screen tones. So I bookmarked a few for future reference. After coloring, I decided to try the Shading Assist tool on the base color layer of my drawing on the standard setting, and I actually really liked how it turned out. It was a subtle change, and as someone who struggles a lot with shading in general, I think this tool will help a lot in helping me recognize shading patterns between different light sources. Seeing as how I was drawing a manga page, I of course used the balloon tool that I was already sort of familiar with from past use. In the end, this is how it looks. I didn't do much background-wise, but I really like how the coloring turned out. I think the most useful tools for me while drawing this page was, of course, the panel creation, and the comic page guidelines, by the way, actually helped a ton. And I also really liked using the Shading Assist tool, which helped make my flat coloring really pop and make the character pop out from the panels even more. Next time, I definitely want to try exploring the 3D model tools and try out a page with even more dynamic posing. Like I said, still a huge newbie at this program, but I'm excited to expand my knowledge on all the different artistic tools I have at my disposal, which I hope will also help me improve the quality of my videos. Clip Studio is a super extensive software with a huge library of resources and drawing materials, so I definitely recommend trying it out if you're looking for versatility and some useful time savers. If you want to just try it out first without committing, they do have a free trial available. Clip Studio Paint is also available on multiple devices, which will come really handy for me since I've been doing a lot more traveling lately, and I like to bring my iPad with me just in case I want to draw. Huge thank you again to Celsius for this amazing opportunity, and of course to Naoki-san for showing me the ropes and making my intro to Clip Studio Paint that much easier.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool, man. I'm glad that you're having fun with this and that you're putting it out there and everything is just like it's cool that she's continuing to learn. You know, continuing to learn how to create and to put more how to put more effort into her work and not have to drive herself crazy on it, because there's stuff that she definitely, like, I'm not gonna say like she needs to improve on, but in terms of her workflow and everything, if this makes it to where she can put stuff out that she's more confident in, and also potentially at a higher work rate, a higher rate of release, I'm all about it, man. Because I love her work. I love the fact that she's continuing to grow as an artist. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you got, Em. But all right, I think that's gonna do it for this one. This was I can finally upgrade my art by Emery Chu. If you want to see more from him, feel free to click her name in the title of the video. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and all that good stuff. So until next time, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
And there's Ashy Boy right there. And we'll see you in the next one, everybody. Bye-bye.